Reception, and welcome to your Understanding of the World /RE lesson. Our skill this week is to identify people in our community that help us. And this follows on from a lovely lesson you had on Friday with Mrs Hopkin, where we said thank you to people that help us. Now we're going to start by looking at the picture on my screen. These are just some of the people that help us every day. And I'd like you to pause the video now and see how many you can name. Okay, I'm going to go through some answers now, so if you haven't had a turn, make sure you pause the video now. So when we're thinking about people who help us in our lives, we might think first of all about doctors and nurses. They have a very important job to do. They help to look after us when we're feeling poorly, and they're also helping people with coronavirus at the moment, so they're incredibly busy. You might have thought about paramedics. Paramedics are people that respond to 999 calls or go to people who cannot get to hospital themselves. You may have thought about firefighters or police officers. You might have thought about vets or postal workers. You might have thought about builders or electricians. Electricians are people that help with all the wiring in your house. So anything that's electronic, like your lights or your TV, they are the ones that help to put it there and fix it if it goes a little bit wrong. Plumbers. Now plumbers are people that help with all the water in your house. So anything that has water, like your sink, your toilet or shower, they are the people that help to put it there and help to fix it if it goes a little bit wrong. You might have thought about bus drivers or train drivers, or maybe even teachers. Now, like I said, these are just some people that help us in our everyday life. You may have thought about some more. I can think about shop workers who help keep the supermarkets safe while we are shopping for our food. I'm thinking about pharmacists who give us our medicine when the doctors have prescribed it to us. I'm also thinking about scientists who work so hard to find new ways of helping. So there are so many people that help us every single day. And I'm wondering if you know anybody that is a doctor or a nurse or a police officer or a train driver or a vet. And I wonder if anybody has anyone in their family that they know, or maybe even a friend. And if so, it might be a nice idea to give them a call or talk to them this week to find a little bit more about them. Because this week we are going to be interviewing some very important people to find out a little bit more about their jobs. So let's get started by going to this place. Where am I? Can anyone see that I'm at school? This is our school. And this picture was taken last week by Mrs Hayward, and when it was covered in snow. Isn't it so beautiful? Now at school there are so many people that help us. You may have thought about your teacher or your teaching assistants. I don't know where I'd be without Mrs Grace and Mrs Lane. They help me all the time. They're amazing. But you might also have thought about the ladies in the office, Mrs Clifton and Mrs Bergham. They help us as well. You may have thought about the cleaners. They're working very, very, very hard to make sure that we are very safe at school. You might have thought about our caretaker, Mr Aspinall, who's been working really hard to make sure everything is safe for us at school as well. You may have thought about Barbara in the kitchen, who makes us all of our tasty meals at school. But there are also somebody else we haven't thought about. Who am I missing? That's right, I'm missing Mrs Stone. Mrs Stone is our head teacher, and Mr Newport is our deputy head teacher. Mrs Weaver and Mrs Blanchet are our assistant head teachers, and those four people are incredibly important at our school because they are the ones that keep our school running. So I've taken some of your questions and we're going to interview them and find out a little bit more about their job at school. Are you ready? Now, some of you had some questions for a teacher, and so, ta-da! I am here answering your questions. So, Teddy has a very good question, and he says, is there anything teachers don't know? No, Teddy, teachers know everything. No, that's not right. No, of course there are some things that teachers don't know. Teachers, just like all grown-ups, still have to learn some new things as they get older. Not last year, but the year before, I started learning how to knit because I'd never done it before and I wanted to learn. And now I love to knit. I love something called crocheting. So I learned that only a few years ago. Oscar has asked, are you still working in the school or from home? So it's a bit, all the teachers have a bit of a mixture. Mrs Stone is at school all the time. She's working incredibly hard. I am in school for 2.5 days, so I go in on Mondays and Tuesdays, and then the rest of the time I do all of the lessons and I film all of the lessons from my home. Teddy asks, this is the best question ever, do teachers have real names? And that's amazing. They do. Does anyone know what my name is? So I've got a bit of a tricky name to say. My name isn't just Miss Brisley. Miss Brisley is my last name. My first name is Alicia. So I have a really tricky first name to say. So my real name is Alicia Brisley, but at school we say Miss Brisley. So I wonder if anyone can work out what Mrs Hopkins' first name is. And Lauren has asked, do you want to have a day off? And that is the best question ever. Yes, please, I'd love a day off. No, I'm only joking. Of course I don't. I just can't wait to see you all. So no, I don't need a day off. Now let's ask some more questions. So now, I love this, we have Mrs Blanchet, and somebody has asked, Mrs Blanchet, do you choose what's for lunch? And let's see what she has to say.
Lunches. Now, as you know, Barbara in the kitchen is well known to cook up a storm in the kitchen, and I'm selective about which days I have school dinner. Sometimes, if it's quiet, I manage to nip over to Lidl, and then of course I get to choose. And then other days, if we're too busy, sometimes in the office we just snack on biscuits, and we don't even get lunch. But Barbara's usually quite kind to us, and will save us one of her lovely treats from the kitchen.
Oh, lovely. And Mr Newport, do you like your job?
Do I like my job? Yes, I mean I love my job. I don't think I'd last an hour if I didn't love my job. It uses all of my natural skills, which is great. So when I was growing up, I didn't know what I wanted to do, and everyone just kept telling me to do something that you're good at and that you enjoy, and I definitely enjoy this. I enjoy seeing children learn, I enjoy seeing adults learn, and I just enjoy seeing people have a good time, which lots of people do here at the Churchill, thankfully.
Oh, lovely. Right, let's go on to the next question. Mrs Stone, do you have a lot of paperwork? I think that's a yes. I think that's a yes. Mrs Weaver, have you ever been a teacher?
Have you ever been a teacher before?
I have. I've been a teacher for many years. I'm just trying to think back actually, probably about 15 years, mainly in the upper school, so teaching year 6, 5, 4, 3, and I've done a few sessions where I popped into reception. You might recognise me. Sometimes I jump in for a few minutes to come and teach you. But yes, I've been teaching for a long time before coming into SLT.
Very nice. Let's have a look at our next question. Oh, it's from Mrs Weaver again. What's your favourite day at school?
What's your favourite day at school?
My favourite day, I think is probably the same as everybody else's, is Friday! Fridays are really good days, and we look forward to the weekend, and it's just a really nice feel. It's coming close to our fun weekend with our families.
Oh. Next question. Mr Newport, What's the best part of your job?
The best part of my job is working with so many different people. I'm definitely a people person. I like being around people and talking to people. Children, adults, the same. So it's definitely not boring. I like being in and out of rooms and talking to people and seeing what they're doing and experiencing a different day every day.
Lovely. And we've got 2 more questions. So, what is the most surprising part of your job, Mrs. Blanchet?
The most surprising thing is how much fun I can have coming to work, working with all the lovely children at Churchill. I'm amazed at how much they can make me laugh and smile every day.
And last question, Mrs. Stone, are we going back to school?
I hope so. Obviously, I'm keeping up to date with all the announcements that the government come with, but what we must do is we must make sure that it is safe as possible, and so that when we come back that everybody is safe at school. So we just need to keep tight, keep working hard at home, know that we care about you and that we are still missing you lots, but actually we just need to stay at home and stay safe at the moment. And as soon as I have some news, as soon as I get any news, I will let you know, because obviously we want you all back as soon as we possibly can.
Absolutely, Mrs. Stone is right. We really miss you guys, okay? So, right, what we would like you to do now is tell somebody, think carefully and tell somebody what job you would like to have when you're older, and ask them very nicely if they wouldn't mind posting your answers on Discord. Now, you might want to take this a bit further. You might want to draw a picture of yourself when you're older in your new job. You might want to role play your favourite job, maybe with your teddies. Or you might want to ask some of your family and friends about what they do for their jobs. I can't wait to hear your answers and see what messages I get on Discord. And tomorrow we're going to be interviewing some police officers, which is really exciting. So, have a lovely day, everyone, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye!